Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. If this is your first time, welcome. Glad you can be here. Before I jump into this track, Verbz Mr Slipz, track's called Hope, features Nelson Dialect. First time hearing this cat. I want to take an opportunity to ask you to go over to Shotgun the Aux, both their YouTube and their Instagram page. Check it out. There's a message from Chester P explaining a new opportunity for young rappers, man. This Shotgun the Bars, it's called. Not only is it an opportunity to win some great prizes, get some exposure, you also get a chance to appear on the podcast itself, which is so freaking cool. And you never know, man. You might end up doing a song with Chester P. Stranger things have happened, guys, for sure. So make sure you go over, check them out, Shotgun the Aux. Message by Chester P. It's on both their YouTube and their Instagram page, man. Check it out for any of you cats. Start writing, man. 16 bars. Make them hot, for sure. And hey, before I get too much further, big shout out to Shotgun the Aux for doing this, man. I love what you guys are doing over there, what you're doing for the community. Nothing but love for you cats, man, for sure. So this track, Verbz Mr Slipz Hope, features Nelson Dialect. Let's just jump right in, give it a listen.
Only a few will understand and appreciate. 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 Only a few.
It's so friggin' fitting, man, to hear KRS-One talk about only a few will understand and appreciate. I feel that way about Mr. Slipz. The fact that I think he's a criminally underappreciated producer. The guy's a goddamn magician when it comes to what he does. Brilliant producer. And I don't think he gets the love he deserves. I got nothing but love for this cat, for sure. But yeah, man, every single beat he made on this album is absolutely golden, man. Friggin' diamond after diamond, just amazing. And this one's no different, for sure.
Understand and appreciate. Only a few will 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 understand and appreciate.
Live in the moment till it comes to an end. Now ain't the time for gloating, hope I'm focused again. I flow with the pen for my most hopeless of friends.
Man, two things I gotta say about Verbz right now. The guy, the more I listen to him, the more I really respect and appreciate what this dude does, because he has like an effortless flow. When I first started hearing him, I called it like a buttery flow. Like it's just so friggin' smooth. And you see that on here too. I know it just started, but you just get that, man. It's just effortless. It just comes so natural, this cat. At least, I'm not saying it didn't work on that shit. It's not what I'm saying. But some people, it's like watching Michael Jordan play basketball. That dude worked his ass off, as you guys know. But when he plays basketball, it looks like that's why he was here for. And that's what I get from Verbz when he's rapping, man. He's just so effortless. And then he's always talking about shit that matters, man. And he's talking about living in the moment and, being present. And I like the idea about like not gloating and all that kind of shit. But I want to make sure I digested all that. So I'm going to bring it back. I mean, we're not all the way back, but to the beginning of his verse anyway. I want to make sure I get all this.
Live in the moment till it comes to an end. Now ain't the time for gloating, hope I'm focused again. I flow with the pen for my most hopeless of friends. Only hoping
I flow with the pen for the most hopeless of friends. And he talks about that on a couple of his other records where he's talking about like being a voice for people who don't have it, and people he grew up with who are still living in situations that they want to get out of but they can't. And then he says it right again, man. He for all these cats that are hopeless and don't have a voice and feel like they're stuck, you can look at this cat, man, and hear what he says and see what he's doing, and maybe find some hope in his words and in his success.
Live in the moment till it comes to an end. Now ain't the time for gloating hope, I'm focused again. I flow with the pen for my most hopeless of friends. Only hoping that they saw what I said, or quote what I said for hopeful generations ahead. Wrote this when I was unfocused and floating in depths, taking slow steps close to the road that we left. To only notice what we're feeling to hide. My mind tied to the same highs, eager to find what I never truly had and what I can't leave behind. I need time, and that's time that I don't have. Words of a nomad in no man's land, won't hold back with the rhymes that I wrote in my pack. I owe it all to the world, and that's fact. These diamonds and pearls for self, and the unfortunate that never had the hand to help and carry all on their back. And the ones who lost track, close to falling in cracks. I'm from where we mourn the fallen through the pouring of yak. And the young and stay warring with no thought for the fam was all.
See, again, he's sticking with that idea where it's like, you know, he never had a helping hand, but he did find his way forward, and he's doing his best to help those cats that are falling through the cracks, and the people who feel like they need to murder cats for drugs or for clout or reputation or any kind of shit, or just putting a cat down to steal his shoes or his hat. Yeah, man, Verbz is dropping knowledge, man, like he always does. I think sometimes it's easy to get lost because, like I was saying about his flow is so nice. Sometimes it's easy just to get into the rhythm of his voice, especially the way that he rides the beat, and kind of gloss over what he's saying, which I know I missed some shit for sure. But yeah, man, like, great song.
The world, and that's fact. These diamonds and pearls for self, and the unfortunate that never had the hand to help and carry all on their back. And the ones who lost track, close to falling in cracks. I'm from where we mourn the fallen through the pouring of yak. And the young and stay warring with no thought for the fam was all taught to live lawless by the forces at hand. And I got thrown off course, but won't wait or stalled. I'm capable, they hate my cause. While I stay engaged in all that I am, just another young man that didn't walk with a plan. So what's the reason for me keeping all these feelings I have? I need meaning, I need something reader than rap. But it's my speech that keeps my heart beating, I'm deep in this trap. In fact, I'm seeking ways to make a change for the better, instead of wasting days to shy away from rainy weather. Lost faith, being fed up, may say keep your head up. My younger ways fixated on cheddar. Now these hunger pains got me chasing for the better. Lost my way chasing rays of the sun in the
Man, that whole, I didn't know where to stop it, because that whole friggin' last part of that verse was so friggin' deep, man. Like he's talking about he's needing something more real than rap. He pours his heart out on the idea. Like even he's talking about how at the beginning he did it for the wrong reasons. He was doing it for money, but now he wants something more real than rap. But putting his words and his thoughts down on paper and telling cats about it, rapping, is what his heart needs. I'm gonna bring it back. I want to hear this whole part here because I think it's important. It's a really good look into who Verbz is as an artist and a person.
plan. So what's the reason for me keeping all these feelings I have? I need meaning, I need something reader than rap. But it's my speech that keeps my heart beating, I'm deep in this trap. In fact, I'm seeking ways to make a change for the better, instead of wasting days to shy away from rainy weather. Lost faith, being fed up, may say keep your head up. My younger ways fixated on cheddar. Now these hunger pains got me chasing for the better. Lost my way chasing rays of the sun, in the grey cityscape where we chain to the funds. Slave to mistakes, labeled by the ways that we lost. Unable to trust, aiming for a place to adjust. Believing in myself is a must, for the sake of what I feel and all I'm able to love. Believing in myself is a must, to enable me to heal and deal with change as it comes.
Okay, before Nelson jumps in here, that whole bridge or chorus, whatever the hell it is, I never know what the hell to call it. I really enjoyed that what he was talking about, that and the importance of believing in yourself, and as long as you believe in what you're doing and you're doing it for yourself or for the right reasons, you will almost always find your way through it. maybe that's where like this idea of hope, the title of the song, comes from. But yeah, man, I want to hear a little bit of this hook again. You cats know I rewind it a lot. It's all good.
In the grey cityscape where we chain to the funds, slave to mistakes, labeled by the ways that we lost, unable to trust, aiming for
That part there, yeah, I wanted labeled by the ways, you know, we make a mistake and then we're labeled that. Especially these days, there is no more redemption. It seems to be you make a mistake and that's who you are for the rest of your life. Second chances, especially on social media, there is no second chances anymore. Those are gone. You make a decision, you're forever labeled that as that person.
to the funds, slave to mistakes, labeled by the ways that we lost, unable to trust, aiming for a place to adjust. Believing in myself is a must, for the sake of what I feel and all I'm able to love. Believing in myself is a must, to enable me to heal and deal with change as it comes.
Feel like Bowman in 2001. Throw me out of spaceship, face shit that I don't. Kaleidoscopic city light, pass by in a rush. Trying to find a loved one till I turn it to dust. Can't trust the computer that we got in our pocket. Algorithm being sold to my soul for a profit. Spot runners and tank tops who clock by.
Hey man, I was just talking about social media, and he's like, you can't trust the computer in your pocket, and the algorithm is being like basically selling our souls, right? But it's proven that the algorithm and stuff that they do, so they keep us separated, they keep us angry with each other, they keep you in echo chambers that makes you feel like your crazy ideas are right, and they keep us separated and unable to communicate. And if you want any better example of that shit, you just look to the States and see the division that's happening right now, and a lot of that has to do with stuff with Twitter and Facebook. If you so much hate and ignorance, it's absolutely disgusting, and one side won't listen to the other side, and I don't see an end to it. It's freaking crazy. On another note, this freaking dude is sick. I like this cat. Like I said, first time hearing him, so yeah, man, this is fun.
And deal with change as it comes.
Feel like Bowman in 2001. Throw me out of spaceship, face shit that I don't. Kaleidoscopic city light, pass by in a rush. Trying to find a loved one till I turn it to dust. Can't trust the computer that we got in our pocket. Algorithm being sold to my soul for a profit. Spot runners and tank tops who clock by a bus stop. Clock for $1, hoping God is enough. Common sense like water for chocolate. Got a docket for the hybrid hominid digital socket that I plug into an eyelid. Look at the problem. No belonging to a world where sold is abundant. Curb serving like the mad circle. Expand virtual reality and write verbs in my life journal. Time slips in the lane that I'm overtaking. Last grain of sand in the hourglass fading. Bury my aunt, uncles, grandparents and cousins. Young friends too, I cried so often.
I think, especially these days, it has me thinking a lot more about time, because time doesn't seem to even make sense anymore with these lockdowns and shit. The days just freaking going to the next day, and the next day feels like you're in Groundhog all the time. I'm gonna be turning 47 years old on January 27th, and it's crazy to me where I'm just watching another month. Like, we're almost a month through our first month of 2021. It's like, where the hell is this time going? And Nelson's talking about like the last grain of sand. He sees it like slipping through the hourglass, like time is just slipping away. He's burying family members and loved ones, and knowing that time isn't infinite, it's very fleeting, and you have to hang on to the time that you have and make use of the time that you have, because you never know, man. You never know when it's your time, or when it's the last time you're going to see somebody. Pretty deep line.
Look at the problem. No belonging to a world where sold is abundant. Curb serving like the mad circle. Expand virtual reality and write verbs in my life journal. Time slips in the lane that I'm overtaking. Last grain of sand in the hourglass fading. Bury my aunt, uncles, grandparents and cousins. Young friends too, I cried so often. Alcoholic and drug toxin, nail a coffin. To alleviate stress, for a second they promise. And now it's beyond flesh, where the body deposit. Astonishing, got their wings clipped up by the product. Soft-spoken and I'm humble among them. But a press kid and publicist couldn't script the hunger I follow. Hollow knowledge in the hologram, won't understand.
And what a friggin' dope bar. Because going back to that, like burying his family and friends and shedding a tear. No one knows how much tears he shed. And a lot of it has to do with alcohol and drugs and trying to escape those moments of uncomfortableness and pain and depression. Just take this drug, take this alcohol, and you'll start to feel better, if even for a minute. But really, that turns out to be that nail in the coffin. And I really dig that line where he's talking about, you can get a whole team of motherfuckers together to write these verses or write a rap that'll be popular, that'll get a lot of hits on YouTube. But you can't write this shit unless you live it. And all that fake stuff doesn't have, like all that fake rap, all that kind of stuff doesn't have any content, man. It doesn't have it's just a bunch of noise over beats. And that's what Nelson's saying, man. You can't get a team of people together and make this shit up. You have to live this, man. You have to live hip hop. And it's his heart and his memories and his pain on the page. Man, that's a friggin' dope line.
Wings clipped up by the product, soft-spoken and I'm humble among them. But a press kid and publicist couldn't script the hunger I follow. Hollow knowledge in the hologram, won't understand. Pour this egg cassette, take deck of Dutch in my hand. Clutch paper then disintegrated over my fam. 28th bar of pen, the same age that I am. Abrahamic chain link to the prophet. Brain shrink in the forest where the oxygen cut off your hand. Handle it before it damage and dismantle your health. My heart pinned to the lapel, straight jacket of self.
Lost my way chasing rays of the sun in the grey cityscape where
Lots to unpack there, but I really like that last bar about the heart being pinned to the straight jacket itself, and also the fact that he whatever money he makes, he spends it on the family, disintegrates it, gets he has it in his palm, and then lets it go. Man, he takes care of his family, and makes sure that they have what they need as well. And I just like that idea about the heart being pinned to the straitjacket of self, because so many of us, man, we're bound by our opinion of ourselves, and we allow other people's opinion have a really damaging effect on us when they say some shit. You could have 100 people tell you that they love you and one person tell you you're a piece of shit, and all you'll do is focus on the one person that tells you you're a piece of shit. Nelson's talking about, his heart is pinned to the straitjacket of self. That's, in my mind, man, it's such a freaking deep bar.
Jacket of self.
lost my way chasing rays of the sun in the grey cityscape where we chained to the funds, slave to mistakes, labeled by the ways that we'd lost, unable to trust, aiming for a place to adjust. Believing in myself is a must, for the sake of what I'm feeling, all I'm able to love. Believing in myself is a must, to enable me to heal and deal with change as it comes.
Only a few will understand.
I know I butchered that whole thing about the hook the first time, but I appreciate it much more when I heard it here the third time. Really get more of a sense of what he's talking about. Yeah, man, what a great friggin' song. I'm gonna let it play out for sure.
Change as it comes.
Only a few will understand and appreciate. Only a few will understand and appreciate. Only a few will understand and appreciate. Only a few will understand and appreciate.
Wow, man, that was a really nice way of being introduced to Nelson Dialect. That's, to be honest, the first time I've ever seen his name. Like, I haven't even come across it going. Like, I'll do a search for UK hip hop and I'll just go through and I haven't seen his name come up. If I have, it hasn't registered with me anyway. But what a cool way to be introduced to this cat. I enjoyed his flow. His wordplay was nice, and he has some really thought-provoking bars, which I really like, as you cats know. The track is tremendous. Slipz once again proves that he needs to be mentioned among the best producers in the industry. hell of a track, great beat, great sample. Really enjoyed it. And Verbz, once again, with his flow, his delivery, his message, on point, man. Yeah, overall, great friggin' track. Glad I got to this today. Appreciate everyone reaching out and tell me about it. So tomorrow, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna have a We Got Next Wednesday or not tomorrow, because I got a lot of tracks building up in my list. So I might skip one tomorrow. It's hard to say, but we'll see. So until tomorrow, whatever we do, stay safe and be good to each other.